Good morning, Mike Trull, AMSOIL dealer here from #1synthetic.com, where you can get all your AMSOIL. But today we're doing a tune-up, mainly spark plugs and air filter on this 05 Corolla. If you subscribe to the channel, you can check out the oil change we did last week, where we did the AMSOIL and the filter. And we're also going to add the AMSOIL PI. This is going to clean the whole fuel system and injectors and really help to restore performance to like new. But these spark plugs, we got the best NGK ruthenium spark plugs we could on Rock Auto. We got a really good deal. So with that, we got an air filter, pick that up. And my mom really needed some wipers. So these were like $6 on Rock Auto. So that's why we went with these. They're beam style. And at the local parts houses, wipers like this were $20 to $30. So just an idea, if you want to check out Rock Auto, it might help you out. But my links for the AMSOIL will be down below. Join my tribe, like, share, and subscribe, and click my link below to sign up as a preferred customer and get your AMSOIL 25% off. Let's get into this. All right. So you want to take off your little 10mm acorn nuts, which I've already done. This simply lifts off after that. One thing I did not think of while I was on Rock Auto's website is to look and see if this thing has a PCV valve, which looks to be either there or here. I'll have to do some more research. So with the same 10mm that we took off the cover, we can loosen our bolts holding down our coils. When I was younger, an inline 4 didn't appeal to me that much, but as I've gotten older, the simpler the better. This is why we got this car for my mom. We wanted simple, reliable, and we're changing these spark plugs out. The car doesn't even have 100,000 miles on it, but it is, you know, obviously almost 20 years old. So we want to go ahead and change these plugs. And we did go with the NGK ruthenium, high ignitability. There's the part number, and I just got that off of Rock Auto, like I said, so I'm assuming that's right according to their lookup. And you just want to carefully, you know, depress these tabs and pull the electrical connectors for your coils, and you can do these one at a time or all at once. It's not like a car with a distributor where you could get it mixed up. Everything's right here. And so let's see how this first coil comes out. Actually, I don't know if this is 1 or 4. I don't know what the order is, but this is a simple job. We don't have to get into too much. Let's see here. There it is. And we are planning to reuse our coils and our boots, so we'll just take care not to damage anything. Yeah, I mean, this looks fine. And like I said, there's no drivability problems. Toyota Denso, so these are probably original. There's no issues so far, but that's how we want to keep it. Give you guys a view. So if you haven't done a job like this before, you can look down in there. That's the spark plug down in there. So we need to get a socket, and you want to make sure not to knock anything down in there, because that'll go directly into the engine cylinder. And then we've got the 3 others that we'll repeat this process for. All right, guys. So I have a, what size is this? A 5/8 spark plug socket, and sadly it doesn't have the rubber in it that normally what it would do is it would grab onto the spark plug and lift it out. So if you don't have a spark plug socket, you can use an old coil, tubing, or something you can slip down in and grab the spark plug with. That's the basic idea here. So Rosie, whoops. So if we get this set on removing, hopefully these aren't too tight. No, not too tight. Now the big debate, guys, with spark plugs is whether or not to use anti-seize compound. And I think in the past I have put just a dab, just a small dab of anti-seize, but I looked into it. NGK doesn't recommend it. They use a coating on their spark plugs so that you don't need any anti-seize. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and follow, is that recommendation. So I've got this old ignition coil that I'm gonna try to, from a different car. See, that's all you need, something to grab it. Now these are Denso SK16R11, and these are some type of fine wire spark plug. They do have a gasket. There's the redneck hodgepodge. If you saw my short from yesterday, I zip tied an old car battery onto this Power Wheels that wasn't working. And there's Buddy. Buddy says like and subscribe. He's the star of many of the videos. And again, here's my link. That'll be down in the description. Check out, look up your car and get some AMSOIL for it. So yeah, I don't know if this is original. I don't know what plugs come in here, but we're gonna go ahead and change them out. And just for fun, we're gonna look down in there with the spark plug removed. All right guys, so I've got the NGK ruthenium FR5AHX, and I looked these up on Rock Auto. They're supposed to be pre-gapped. A bit of resistance here in this old coil should allow us to safely drop it in. And we're putting them in dry because that's what NGK recommends. Now I probably should be using a smaller ratchet. You do not want to over tighten, over torque your threads. Let's look for the spec. Since these have a, Buddy, good boy, be quiet. Basically, since we have a gasket on the spark plug, you put it down and then you do another 1/2 to 2/3 of a turn. So done a little bit, so see, the thing is if you used stuff on these threads, you would then be over tightening. You would have to lower your torque value. So it's hard to know. because with these you have that gasket and it compresses that gasket a little bit. So now we'll take our oil that we're reusing. And we're gonna work this stuff back into place. A 10mm bolt holds this thing all together, and your clip here we can inspect. Nothing there looks corroded or damaged. So what we'll do is snap that back in place with a satisfying click, and we'll tighten our 10mm bolt. Again, this is just to hold this in place. You don't need to over tighten these either. So we got one down and we got 3 more to go. Guys, I want to show you something. So this one came out, but this one, and I noticed I'm not going to be able to get the others without loosening. There's a 10mm bolt right here and a 10mm bolt right here on this little black, this wiring harness here. And so it just lifts up. I didn't even remove the bolt, I just loosened them, and this thing will lift up enough, I think, to where we can remove these. But you'll probably will have to loosen this and slide it around to get these out. All right, one more thing. Doing this second one, and again with no anti-seize, doing the 1/2 to 2/3 turn. I actually went up to the full 2/3. It felt so natural because I do a lot of things by feel, guys. I don't always use a torque wrench. I don't actually own a torque wrench that will do minute little torques like this. So I do, you know, the thing where it's just, you get it tight, but you don't strip it. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something that comes with experience. But when I did 1/2 a turn on this one, I felt it like it needed to go a little farther, and I went up to 2/3 of a turn, and I mean, it just comes to a point where you just feel it, that it's good. And so I felt good about that. Guys, another good reason to change your spark plugs is, from what I've heard and read, it preserves the life of your ignition coils. I've heard that, you know, instead of changing their spark plugs when they're supposed to, and I'm guilty of this, is your car runs fine, and so you just keep driving it. And you run your spark plugs out to 140, 150,000 miles, and by the time the engine starts to run poorly, when that gap opens up on the spark plug, the coil has to work a lot harder in order to create the spark. And so by the time the car runs poorly, you've already put so much strain on your ignition coils that many times, you know, that can cause premature failure of your coils. So the fact that we were able to go ahead and change these spark plugs out, you know, a little early according to mileage, but again, the car is going to be, you know, approaching 19 years old here, approaching 20 years old soon. But the fact that we can change these plugs out early hopefully will prolong the life of the ignition coils. I think we're losing power on the camera here, guys, but I just wanted to show you on the last one. I just put it in, so let's make sure it's down. Let's make sure it's seated. Okay, so I think that feels like it's seated. And I'm just gonna show you. Let me get it on there. Okay, so we're gonna come here. So I want you to see half a turn, I would end up over here. So we'll do the 1/2. So that's half right there. Now I'm gonna come back just a little and we'll bring it up to 2/3. And that just feels right, I'm telling you. So in my experience on this engine with these plugs, no anti-seize, about 2/3 of a turn works. And that's what we're gonna go with. So we'll reinstall our last coil. Snap it and we'll replace the bolt. And don't forget to retighten the bolts that hold down your wiring harness here. That one and this one. Nothing to it, guys. Those are all snapped on. We should be good to go there. So guys, yeah, before we get to the air filter and everything, I just want to, that's where we did the power steering. I need to wipe up a little bit, but subscribe and check out that video. We changed the power steering fluid by raising the car, and with the engine off, I had somebody turn the wheel. I disconnected this hose, put a nipple, a rubber nipple over the plastic thing on the reservoir, and I hooked a tube up to this hose, went into a jug while I added new fluid up here. So if you want to see that video, check out the channel. We also did the engine oil change on a separate video with the AMSOIL. And again, guys, my links are down below for the AMSOIL. We'll get this engine cover back in place, and then we'll get on to the air filter. So yeah, most of what we do on the channel, guys, is going to involve the AMSOIL synthetic lubricants. I have been an AMSOIL dealer through my link, number1synthetic.com, for since 2007. So I believe that the AMSOIL product has proven itself over the years. Since it came out in the early 1970s, it's a chemically engineered, oop, this ratchet's about done, chemically engineered true synthetic oil. Oh, and I can't forget, we still have plans to do the transmission fluid on this car with the AMSOIL. It's actually the same fluid that we put in the power steering. The car calls for the ATF in both places, and the red label AMSOIL does meet the appropriate Toyota spec for this car. I'll leave links down below, again, where you can look up your vehicle by year, make, model, and engine and see exactly what's recommended. But for now, let's get on to the air filter. I got this one again on Rock Auto, and let's get it going. All right, sorry about the funny camera angles, but let's see. First things first, we don't want to knock any dirt into the system here. So I'm just kind of looking at things and making sure. Oh, and it's good to note this car does have a mass airflow meter. So AMSOIL makes a product called Power Foam. It's an intake cleaner that I thought about doing next year before we change the oil. But with this mass airflow meter, we're not going to be able to introduce it this way. There may be a way to introduce it through where the PCV valve would be. There's like a screen up inside of there. Interesting. But this is the part we're changing out here. Where does the air feed in? Oh, from over there. There must be a cold air snorkel of sorts. Okay, so that's the dirty side, or that's the clean side. That's the dirty side. Garnley. And I don't like to assume, but I'm assuming it went in the same way that the other one came out. So let's hope it was installed correctly. If I inspect the way this is, the bottom has a lip around it that makes it look like this part would go down. And then there's a squared off edge that looks like it would go right here. Yeah, that fits nice. From our oil change last week with the AMSOIL. Guys, the AMSOIL is so good, being a chemically engineered true synthetic, and along with the nanofiber oil filter, you can safely run 15,000 or 1 year. Sure if you can see that, but that is full, looking good. But you do want to check your oil, whether it's once a week, once a month, every time you fill up. You have to maintain your oil level. And this thing was in serious need of windshield wipers, so we will go ahead and get these off. I think there's just there's a tab up under there that you depress, and then it slides this way. It was push up, I just had to get it moving. And from there, just finagle it out. Okay. This is, I think, an 18 inch. And, all right, snaps right on. Driver's side. Whoop, I want to hear that satisfying snap. There it is. Drop it down. And I forgot to remove the little white things off the one on the passenger side, so I'll do that real quick. What tune-up would be complete without the AMSOIL PI from number1synthetic.com? All right, we'll try to get this open. This is a super concentrated cleaner for the fuel system. You want to add this every 4,000 miles. And this is going to clean all the combustion chambers, the back side of the intake valves, because this is not a GDI. You got the port fuel injection. So this is going to clean the whole fuel system. And what I do not have today, that I am all out of, is the AMSOIL upper cylinder lube, but I highly recommend that to add to every tank of gas. and that provides lubricity to the top end, improves the ring sealing for better compression, and better compression is going to give you better fuel mileage and more power. Also, this gas flap sounded horrible. It was like rusty almost. So I hit that with the AMSOIL metal protector. And there's all kinds of stuff like this at my links. You know, if you need some products like this to get yourself to the threshold for the free shipping, links will be in the description.
Why is this one don't go fast enough?
Oh, that one doesn't work. That's just a grip. But the one on the right will actually speed you up.
Why does this one doesn't work?
Because it's not designed to.
Daddy, my hands are not even good.
Oh, that's good. I know that thing's pretty old. Hey guys, when you get done watching my videos and you go down, click the links, you can look up your vehicle, but I encourage you sign up as a preferred customer using my link. That way you'll be in my tribe. And as always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Thanks guys. So just select 6-month trial membership, or the 1 year's $20. And most of you are going to save way more than that buying, especially if you're buying for more than one vehicle or more than just an oil change. But check it out, the price difference is pretty good. Check out the details on it. When you go to check out or create your account, this is what you want to see, guys. I really appreciate it. Case in point, guys, would be the AMSOIL glass cleaner. And this is just another one of those products that they make that, you know, go ahead and check it out while you're placing your order. It's nice because it foams and it doesn't run or drip. It's kind of nice. And there's directions on there. It's professional strength. It's really cool. So I'm gonna wipe that and polish that off to a nice shine. All right, I tried to get that windshield clean, and the time has come. Start up since doing the spark plugs and dropping in the PI. So let's see how she, oh yeah, nice and smooth. Nice and smooth startup, nice and smooth idle. Huh. You know, there was nothing really wrong with it before, but it does almost feel smoother. All right, so put it in reverse. I'm gonna also run the AC, because when you put the engine under load at an idle is where it would have a little vibration, and I have a feeling that could be motor mounts needing to be done eventually. Yep, brand new spark plugs and AMSOIL PI, brand new air filter. Go down to my links below, check out, you know, the upper cylinder lube as well, that I am sad that I'm out of it. But guys, yeah, look up your car, your make, model, and engine, you know, drop a complete oil change kit with the filter in your cart, some fuel additives, and drop a preferred customer membership in and join my tribe, guys. That would be awesome. And let me know in the comments how the AMSOIL works for you. Guys, does your Corolla have a tire pressure monitoring light on? This thing has been on forever. The tires are fine. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem worth it to change out the sensors. Maybe one day. All right, if we get a chance, I want to try to floor it just a little bit. It's good every now and then to blow the soot out, so to speak. All right. Now there's a car in front of me, so I kind of want to let them get a little bit of distance here. Let's kick it down to first gear. Ooh, yeah. All right. Now I should have had an eye on the tach. I didn't see how high it went. I don't know where it shifts, but probably around 6,000 or so. So that's good. It's good every once in a while to open it up. Car seems to run really good. Work those fuel additives through. What do you think, guys? Not even 95,000 on this 2005 Corolla. I think with proper maintenance, there's no reason this thing can't last hundreds of thousands of more miles. Check out my links below and look up your car. See what my website has to offer, number1synthetic.com. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Join my tribe, guys. Preferred customer is the way to go. Use my dealer number when you check out, 146-3115. God bless you. Guys, if you're a part of the channel, you know I like to share the verse of the day. So in 1 Kings 17, it's really cool when you see Elijah in the midst of a drought that was meant to show that the false gods of the land were impotent before the true God. God commanded the ravens to provide for him. So literally the ravens would bring bread and meat in the morning, bread and meat in the evening. Now, as if that's not interesting enough, look at the next one. He moves on, and God commands a widow to provide for him. Not a wealthy family with plenty. He commands a widow. And so here you have the account of where he asks the widow to make food for him first, and it's literally going to be their last meal. But she obeys God through the voice of the prophet, and she makes him the food first, and then she and her son eat for many days. And the bowl of flour and the thing of olive oil didn't waste. It tells us later it lasted throughout the drought, and so it provided for all their needs. But God can provide through unconventional ways. Guys, like, subscribe, share, and God bless you. Hey, good morning, AMSOIL. Now, I'll cut that out.